What happens when the biggest tournament on Earth witnesses a moment of absolute chaos? A moment so incredibly confusing that even the match officials had to stop the game and literally rewrite World Cup history right in front of our eyes. Welcome back to Total Football Nexus. Today, we are taking you straight into the electric, nerve-wracking night of June 13, 2026. The venue is the magnificent Los Angeles Stadium. It is the highly anticipated Group D opener of the FIFA World Cup, USA versus Paraguay. And trust me when I say this, it was not just a football match. It was a pure Hollywood thriller from the very first second. You have to understand the sheer psychological pressure the United States men's national team was under. Playing on home soil, millions of demanding fans, the stands packed to the brim with Hollywood royalty. The atmosphere was absolutely deafening. The expectations were sky high. But absolutely nobody in that stadium could have predicted the wild roller coaster that was about to unfold. The referee blows the whistle, and the USA steps onto the pitch looking like a team possessed by pure adrenaline. They press high, they move fast, and they instantly choke the life out of the Paraguayan defense. Barely 6 minutes into the game, disaster strikes for the visitors. The pressure is too much. In a frantic, desperate moment of panic inside the box, Damian Bobadilla accidentally turns the ball into his own net, 1-0. The stadium erupts into absolute madness. But the USA was not here just to capitalize on a lucky break. They were here to make a brutal statement. Enter Folarin Balogun. The man looked like a predator out on the hunt. He was reading the game perfectly, waiting in the shadows. In the 30th minute, he finds his opening, a lethal strike that finds the back of the net, doubling the lead and completely shattering Paraguay's confidence. The crowd is in a frenzy, but Balogun was nowhere near finished. Just as the referee was looking at his watch to end the first half, deep into the 4th minute of stoppage time, Balogun strikes again. A devastating finish, 3-0. With that single kick, he carved his name permanently into the history books. He became only the second player in the history of the U.S. national team to score multiple goals in a single World Cup match. Pure, unadulterated brilliance. Going into the halftime tunnel, it felt like the game was dead and buried. A comfortable, easy victory for the hosts, right? Wrong. The second half was quietly preparing to deliver a moment so bizarre, so incredibly rare, that it would leave the commentators, the fans, and the entire footballing world totally speechless. What exactly happened on that pitch that had never, ever been done in the history of the World Cup? The answer changes everything. The second half kicks off, and the dynamic of the game suddenly shifts. Paraguay is desperate. They are throwing bodies forward, trying to scrape their way back into the contest. The tension is thick enough to cut with a knife. And then the moment of historical chaos arrives. A heavy, clumsy challenge brings down Paraguay's captain, Miguel Almiron. The Dutch referee, Danny Makkelie, does not hesitate for a split second. He storms over to the scene and angrily flashes a yellow card straight into the face of the veteran U.S. defender, Tim Ream. But wait, look closely at Tim Ream's face. He looks completely shocked. He is shaking his head. The players are surrounding the referee, loudly protesting. The massive screens in the stadium show the replay, and a strange silence falls over the crowd. Then comes the iconic signal. The referee pauses and touches his earpiece. The VAR room is calling down to the pitch. Now, as football fans, we are perfectly used to VAR stepping in for a tight offside call or a hidden penalty. But this was entirely different territory. For the very first time in FIFA World Cup history, VAR intervened for a case of mistaken identity. The referee jogs over to the pitch-side monitor, watches the replay, and realizes his massive blunder. He walks back onto the pitch, dramatically cancels Tim Ream's yellow card, and books the actual culprit. A historic, unprecedented moment that had every single football fan sitting on the absolute edge of their seat. Fueled by the rising drama, Paraguay finally found a sliver of hope. In the 72nd minute, Mauricio unleashes a brilliant shot past the American keeper, 3-1. Suddenly, the energy shifts. Could Paraguay actually mount a miracle comeback? The clock is ticking relentlessly. The pressure in the stadium is suffocating. But the United States had one final breathtaking piece of magic hidden up their sleeve to kill the game once and for all. Fast forward to the dying, desperate seconds of the match. It's the 97th minute. The game is already won, but Giovanni Reyna decides he wants to paint a masterpiece. He receives the ball just outside the box. He spots a microscopic angle, and instead of playing it safe, he uses an outrageous touch of pure technical genius, striking the ball with the outside of his boot. A stunning, flawless trivela. The ball curls violently through the air and nests beautifully into the back of the net. 4-1. Game, set, match. The final whistle echoes through Los Angeles. The stadium turns into a gigantic festival. The USA did not just win their opening match, they sent a terrifying, loud warning to every single nation in the tournament. They are fearless, they are deeply talented, and they are riding an unstoppable wave of momentum. But a performance like this forces us to ask a very dangerous question. If they can dismantle teams with this level of ruthless aggression on day one, is there any team in the world that can actually stop them on home soil? What do you think the ultimate fate of this US squad will be? Drop your boldest predictions down in the comments section below. I will see you in the next tactical breakdown, right here on Total Football Nexus.